Australian pet products supplier Petstock has become the next in a growing line of companies to boycott Australia Day. Perhaps there was a time when you could purchase an Australian flag dog coat for your spaniel or a bandana for your terrier, but those days are numbered. It should be noted that supermarket giant Woolworths has recently acquired a 55% stake in Petstock Group, obviously using their power to push their anti-Australia Day agenda. Interestingly, I went to their website and discovered something a bit strange. If you search for collar, of course you get a wide range of cat and dog collars as expected. But if you search for Australia, this is no joke, you get an error message. Something went wrong. I don't know if this is intentional or just some kind of bug, but it's amusing nonetheless. In a statement from Petstock, the head parakeet said, "At the Petstock Group, we remain committed to being an inclusive organisation. It is at the heart of our mantra of people, pets, planet that we show respect and make sure everyone who comes through our physical or digital doors feels like they belong. Except if you celebrate Australia Day, then you can bugger off." The spokesperson continued, "It is for this reason that we won't be dressing up on Australia Day in our stores. Australia Day, 26th of January, means different things to each of us depending on who we are, where we come from and how we came to be Australian, blah blah blah." Petstock Group will not be commenting further on the matter and ask for respect for our team members as they work in our stores in the coming days. When asked about these controversies, head parakeet, Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese, simply said, "I think we need to stop looking for areas in which we can be outraged. We need to come together." That's funny coming from him. In the first year and a half of his term as PM, he led the charge in dividing Australians with the massive cash-wasting Indigenous voice to Parliament referendum. That ended up being very unifying, didn't it? Cricket Australia Chief Executive Nick Hockley also is banning all references to Australia Day in the upcoming Test match that will be played over Australia Day. He said, "We're not in any way boycotting Australia Day. We're just mindful that in our communication materials, it means different things to different people, and we're respectful, and we just want everyone to feel welcome." Although Cricket Australia will not be making any direct references to the national holiday on Friday, they will be holding a Welcome to Country ceremony on Thursday for the opening day, as per their tradition. It's funny, they want to uphold their tradition of conducting a Welcome to Country ceremony, which an increasing number of Australians do not like, but they don't want to even mention the words Australia Day. Not to mention they also happily promote other groups, such as LGB, transgender events and so on, which many Australians don't particularly agree with, but yet they continue to do it. It's only Australia Day they don't want to mention. If Cricket Australia really wants to delete references to Australia Day, then perhaps they should remove the Australian crest from the players' shirts, helmets and the baggy green. The irony is that if the British hadn't arrived, we wouldn't be playing cricket, and Cricket Australia wouldn't even exist. Cricket Australia owes its very existence to British colonisation. Why can't they seem to accept that fact? Australian cricket captain Pat Cummins has weighed in on the issue and stated, "I think we should have an Australia Day, but I think we can probably find a more appropriate day to celebrate it." Ah yes, just change the date. That will fix everything, won't it? Do they think we're stupid? No matter what date Australia Day is ever held, these activists will never come together to celebrate Australia. They hate what Australia stands for. They want Australia Day and perhaps Australia abolished. Although not all Labor politicians agree, Chris Minns, Premier of New South Wales, stated, "This is a day for us all to celebrate with your family and friends and recognise that we live in the greatest country on earth. I definitely will be doing that. Cricket Australia should revisit the decision. The idea that you would take a national day away from any country, particularly Australia, is a strange one. We should right now be trying to pull each other together, and this is the day that we've set aside to celebrate what it means to live in the greatest country on earth." Queensland Premier Stephen Miles was a bit less enthusiastic. When asked about the Australia Day cricket controversy, he said, "I haven't given that much thought. I suppose the Boxing Day test starts on Boxing Day, whereas this test will start the day before Australia Day. That might be their explanation, but you really have to talk to Cricket Australia." He's right, he hasn't given it much thought. He's trying to insinuate the reason for not mentioning Australia Day during the Australia Day Test match is that the 5-day match doesn't actually start on Australia Day. What a whole lot of rubbish. Some people are using the analogy that insisting on celebrating Australia Day against the wishes of a minority is akin to not installing enough disability ramps and lifts for the relatively small proportion of people who are wheelchair-bound. I think that's a really poor analogy. Cancelling Australia Day because a few people are upset by it is more akin to removing all steps and stairwells because wheelchair-bound people are upset by watching able-bodied people use them. Furthermore, wheelchair-bound people are not going around rubbishing or attacking their own country, as per the anti-Australia Day fanatics. The biggest mosque in Australia is in full support of Australia Day this year, with the Imam stating, "Australia Day is a momentous occasion for us. It symbolises the freedom and opportunities that our community has found in this great nation. It's a day to give back to the community that has embraced us, a day of gratitude and unity." So it looks like immigrants seem to like this country. What about all these corporations trying to delete Australia Day? An online poll by the Courier Mail asked the question, should Cricket Australia be snubbing Australia Day? An overwhelming number of respondents, 97%, said no. Cricket Australia, of course, should continue to recognise Australia Day and stop playing this stupid, woke game. Cairns Regional Council strips Australia Day from event titles, moves Citizen Awards ceremony, shocking its own councillors. It just goes on. These people are just not listening to the majority of Australians and are set on their crusade to tear down Australian traditions. I don't know what we can do about it except to keep calling them out. Hopefully, common sense will prevail.